Hi everyone, so today I thought we'd make a couple of Christmas crackers. Now these are 5-sided crackers, a bit different. I normally make 4-sided or 6-sided. I've never done a 5-sided one, but what I liked about this particular make was that you can get 2 crackers out of one sheet of 12 by 12 and you only end up with one little strip that's 1 inch by 12 inches left over, which I thought was quite cool. So yeah, so that's what I thought we'd have a go at. The papers I've used are the first edition Arctic Wonder pad, which I think DRK Crafts still have over on their site, and I think they've knocked down the price quite a lot, so definitely worth going to have a look. And then I'm just using a couple of embellishments. These are from ages ago, Dovecraft ones. I don't even know what kit they were out of, but they're from ages ago. And just some red curling ribbon. So yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so on one of your on your sheet of 12 by 12, you're going to score at 1 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, basically every inch, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, 10 inches and 11 inches. You're basically scoring every inch, okay? Just make sure your card doesn't glance off like mine's trying to. So like that. So you're scoring every inch. And then if we turn it round the other way, so I've got my pattern going long ways, as it was. And then if we turn it around the other way, you're going to score at 2 inches, at 2.5, and at 3. And then you're also going to score at 9 inches, 9.5, and 10. Okay, so now what you want to do is, with it back, so with the score lines you've just done, make sure they're going across the page. You then want to come across and cut at 5.5, okay? So you want to make sure you cut at 5.5, well you want to cut 11 inches, and then you also want to cut at 5.5. So let me just cut it and then I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully you can see what I've done. So these are, that's your 2, your 2.5 and your 3 inch score line going across, your 9, your 9.5 and your 10 inch score line. And all I've done is I've cut, so that's in between your 5 and your 6 inch score line. So I've cut at 5.5. So if I put those two together, you can see that makes a whole pattern. And then this is what's left over. So this can be, you can use that for something else, or that's just for the bin basically. So you're left with these. So now what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and just fold and burnish all of your lines, your 1 inch lines going top to bottom. So you should end up with that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take one cracker at a time. Your 2 inch is going to be a mountain, then a valley, then a mountain, mountain, valley, mountain. That's what you end up with. So hopefully you can see that. So now what we need to do is make little marks, little holes. And what I would normally do is I would normally just fold that down there and then do little triangles. So you just want to cut down and you want to leave a gap in the middle. So I would probably come, I don't know, just leave like a little, maybe 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch in the middle there. I'm not sure. But I've discovered, thanks to Paper Ink Stamp, which is who I saw do this 5-sided cracker, if you use your We Are Memory Keepers punch board, you can actually make light work of doing these triangular pieces. So if you take your punch board and just fold along one of your score lines, doesn't matter which one, I'm going to start with my inch one, and then put this in so that this end lines up with the 2.5, you'll notice that this middle crease line lines up with that indent bit there. And if you just punch it down, you end up with the perfect little mark. So if we do the same on this side, I'm going to flip it round so that that end lines up with the 2.5, punch, and you end up with a perfect cracker. So then if you keep doing this all the way along, you will end up with nice little triangles all the way along your cracker. So I'm going to go ahead now and do all this, and I'll come back to you in a moment. you should end up with a cracker that looks something a bit like that. So as you can see, you could hand cut those, and that gap there is probably about half an inch, no, maybe a quarter. Yeah, it's about a quarter of an inch in between those. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead on this edge here and just add some red tape. Obviously make a little breaks in between where your cutouts are. And then what you need to do is, if you take off the middle one first. Now it's a little bit tricky this, because it's 5-sided, you can't lay it flat. Normally I would turn it over, turn one flap over and just stick that down, but obviously it doesn't work with a 5-sided, so you kind of have to hold it in the air and kind of stick it together. So it is a bit tricky, this bit. This is when a six-sided is easier. Okay, so once you've kind of got one end stuck and one end stuck, you can kind of stick your fingers through the holes and then just pinch it like that, and hopefully you won't end up with too much tape showing. I've got a bit there, but that's fine because I can always put a bit of anti-static powder on it, which will then mean that I don't have a sticky edge. So then we're going to go ahead and peel off the backing off the ends. These are a bit easier to do because you've already got the middle stuck, and because they're at the end, it's a bit easier to kind of figure out where to stick them. So you're going to go ahead here. Now, one thing I forgot to do was this bit here. That bit there needs cutting out as well. I didn't do the very end, so let me just quickly go in. I can't obviously put it in my punch machine now, so in my memory keeper board. So I'm going to have to do that by hand. And then just take the other end, do the same again, like that. It's not perfectly lined up because it just isn't. But anyway. And then you just need to get yourself some kind of ribbon. I've got this ribbon here, and I've got about just over 12 inches, maybe about 13, 14 inches. It really depends, up to you. Depends, you know, it's up to you what you choose. Mine's curling ribbon because I've got a lot of it and it's easy to do. I haven't got to worry about any bows. All I need to do is just tie a little knot and then curl my ends. Turn it round. If you're going to stuff it with something, put it in now. So I've actually got some little things out of a Heroes tub. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. If you want to get, you can get the proper like cracker snaps. If you want to put those in, you can. But I'm just sticking, mine's kind of like an after dinner, yeah, even like after 8 mint kind of thing. I've got after dinner chocolates. So that's what I thought I'd go with. And there's your little cracker. And then all you need to do is put a little embellishment on the front. So I've got these little snowflakes, like I mentioned at the beginning, and I got these from Dovecraft. These were one of the ones I had for demos. It was many years ago now, so I don't know if you can still get them. But you could just die cut a snowflake or use anything you've got, really. I was just having a look through my stash to see what I had that I don't use, that kind of all went, you know, matched my cracker. And I thought, oh, these go quite nicely, and I've got quite a few of them. And there you have a cracker. So I've now got 3 crackers. I've just got to finish off that last one. But so you can, you know, do even numbers of these. So that's 4 crackers done. So I just need to do that last one, obviously from the sheet. And there's me with 4 crackers. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Nice and quick. If you're like me and there's a few bits you've forgotten to do, you can kind of rustle these up quite quickly without having to, you know, take too much time. And as long as you use pattern paper, you then haven't got to do any mats or layers. It's just nice and easy, to be honest with you. They really don't take very much time. I like the fact you can get 2 out of 1 sheet. That makes things a lot easier. If you haven't got 12 by 12 and you're using A4, then I have done a tutorial for getting 2 out of an A4 sheet, but I've decided to make those they're more mini, so they're not as long and slim as these. They'll be shorter, just so you can get them out of an A4. You could get 1 out of an A4 if you just follow the same as this. If you cut your A4 sheet down to 5.5 by 11, you could get 1 out of an A4 sheet, but you do end up with some wastage. So yeah, so I've done a live stream where you can get 2 little mini ones out of an A4 sheet. So yeah, check my channel for that. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.